Hi, my name's Chris. I'm a swarm apprentice working for Robert Ashton, who is a national business entrepreneur. My daily job is I'm actually a PA, but also a kind of a glorified marketing manager, social media manager, personal barista, all sorts of things really.
Hi, my name is Chloe Reid and I work at Ormiston Victory Academy. I am a Victory Intervention Programme apprentice. An apprenticeship was attractive to me because it meant that I could work full-time or part-time and I would still get paid, but I'd still get qualifications at the same time.
I'm Berry, I'm 18, I'm a business apprentice, like an admin apprentice at Ormiston Victory Academy. Day to day, every day is different.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Blythe. I work at Ormiston Victory Academy in Norwich and I'm the sixth form admin apprentice.
I chose to do an apprenticeship instead of going to university because I'm not the type of person that suits sitting in a lecture theatre all day, just listening to people talking. I'm better like on the job, doing it physically. So I find being in an environment like this is great.
University for me was never really where I wanted to go. It was always preached to me at school, but I always wanted to earn money as soon as I could. I was very career driven and I wanted to get on there early and start making contacts in the industry that I want to get into.
I chose to go to do an apprenticeship rather than go to university because I didn't feel like university was for me. I felt like I'd done enough kind of in school and I wanted to work. But I still wanted to get qualifications and I still didn't want to leave it entirely, and I thought that was the best happy medium for me.
Well, my name is Jamie Thompson. I'm studying a Business Studies BTEC Level 3 Extended Diploma at Ormiston Victory Academy sixth form. I think apprenticeship starting is the second option because obviously it is what you do if you don't go to university.
My experience with apprenticeships at my school was absolutely awful. There was no literature. There was no understanding of it, and the teachers and the headmistress didn't actually really even once mention that apprenticeships were the option. It was all about achieving the grades, going to sixth form. Once you've done sixth form, you go to uni, that's it. So for me, it's actually about starting to talk about it a lot more, and it's as simple as that really.
When I was at school, I didn't really have the opportunity to do apprenticeships. I didn't really know about them or anything like that. I never got told. But as I didn't find anything that I really wanted to do, I didn't want to go on to uni, that sort of thing, I went and looked for myself and found the apprenticeships, and it was just perfect, exactly what I wanted to do. So it was a great step into going into the education system.
When I was at school, there wasn't much to do about apprenticeships. Like, the people that went to uni, they were perfectly fine. Like, they'd get all their help with UCAS and everything else that they needed. But when you have an apprenticeship, you don't get much. Like, the apprenticeships that they advertise to you are in a vet surgery or are in agriculture, which isn't something that like I wanted to do. So I've got no help at all. I had to find everything out on my own.
When I was at school, my perceptions of apprenticeships were quite limited. We didn't really hear much about them. We had a meeting about it when I was in year 11. But it was kind of largely forgotten about in sixth form because you were so pushed for uni. So I didn't have an awful lot of help with it then, which I would have liked. But
I think there's a tendency to view apprenticeships as something that students do if they've been unable to get into college or they've been able to secure a job. So they tend to be graded in their minds as something far lower than going to university or studying for any further period of time. I think since engaging in the apprenticeship scheme as an employer and considering those posts that I would create in my own academy, it's helped me to understand more about how flexible apprenticeships can be these days. And I think it's essential that young people understand that they are not the poor alternative to going to university or going to college, and actually they can become highly qualified whilst working, learning at the same time to ensure that they have a really bright future.
I'm Carly and I work for Norfolk Adult Education as a tutor and as an assessor. So a lot of the times apprenticeships, people feel that it's just about going out and getting a qualification. But you know, with it, you're gaining valuable work skills. You're going out there, you're understanding how a business works and the understanding the organisation, and you know, developing those skills that a lot of people possibly aren't going to get if they're just going in and like to college every day.
So if I was suddenly morphed into an assessor from being an employer and I had to go out and find employers to take on apprentices, what would I do? I think I would start by telling them what was in it for them. I'd make it very clear that by taking a young person, you got let's say a modestly priced employee who will give you a measurable return on your investment. So I'm going to spend so much money, what am I going to get back? I wouldn't be interested in all the stuff about grants and how cheap they are, but actually what they're going to do for me.
To promote apprenticeships to people that aren't an apprentice yet or a young person, I think they need to go into schools, there needs to be literature everywhere, it needs to be widely available. They need to make sure that the people higher up in the school hierarchy know that apprenticeships are a viable option, that you know not everyone needs or wants to go to university. There is some people that want to get on the ladder like myself straight away. As well as that, obviously social media, online, websites, there needs to be more of those apprentices and case studies that show young people that they are a good option to go for. You can make a success of yourself, and you can make your dream a reality.
I would say that colleges and schools, that sort of thing, need to get it out there that apprenticeships are available, and they need to make sure that people are aware that they can do that. It's a great opportunity and no one should miss it.
They need as much advice as possible and as much real experience of it, whether it's bringing the business to a school or an academy or a college for the day almost in a box so they can experience what it's like to actually do the job, or taking them off site to go and visit the premises and understand what the context is like. It will help them decide either way. So we need people who are willing to do that for young people, and it will mean that they have people who are more committed to those apprenticeships and keen to learn and stay there on a longer term basis.
If I was a training provider or a college, I would say go into schools a lot more and kind of show the children or students how kind of to use the website and how to find the apprenticeships, to find one that suits them properly. Maybe apprentices going into schools and telling them their experience and to kind of get it from the inside so they know. So someone in a school can say, I like the sound of what that person's doing, I want to do that myself, rather than kind of just being, just going into something that might not be for them.
We can improve what we offer students at the moment in terms of advice and guidance by, like I said, making sure that we get to know their needs intensively and we know what they want to do in the future. Employers and training providers can help with that by engaging with us readily and ensuring that they offer almost a junior mini version of an apprenticeship, so a student can go and have experience of work in that field as an apprentice for a day or a few days, so even if they decide it's not for them, they can at least rule it out.
Support staff can do so much. There can be, I think the first step is actually going to a school and talking to perhaps the careers advisors and some management staff within the schools so that they understand where we're coming from with apprenticeships. And then from there engage with the students so that they can see the value of apprenticeships, and that would happen through liaison with the careers advisors and the management.
Businesses need to ensure that they provide a long-term commitment to young people, whether they're in schools or in any form of training. They need to understand that those opportunities are going to be there forever. I think there's a danger amongst all of us to hold slightly tokenistic business breakfasts that are based in schools where we sit around and we complain about the skills that children don't have, and then we vow to go away and teach them, and then we meet again 3 months later and say the same things, and I absolutely don't want to do that. If providers are involved with schools, what we want is to make sure that we create something sustainable, that we start small and we build it and we keep doing it. So you know with each particular cohort of students, you're going to do something meaningful with them to help them make informed decisions about their futures.